trying to rob people, trying to break the cars.
Oh, come on. So, you're joking with me. You're not going to do that.
Probably.
You think?
Probably. If you hang around some of the people like that, you probably will.
What's going on, you guys? So, Adrien Broner. He has been calling out guys lately, name dropping. Now, whether you think he's serious or not, that's just a whole nother story entirely. But Adrien Broner is known for fighting whoever for the most part. You know, he's not known as a guy who duck fights or anything like that. But he's recently called out Vasyl Lomachenko. Said he's willing to fight Lomachenko at 138 pounds. I like that fight. I like the idea of that fight. I think that's a good fight, and I think that's a big fight for both men. You know, Adrien Broner lately, he's been name dropping guys, calling out guys like Regis Prograis, Jose Ramirez. He didn't call out Josh Taylor. You know, he said he'll fight Canelo and Triple G at Catchweights. But if you pay attention to the pattern and the guys that he's been name dropping, all of these guys are on either DAZN or ESPN, Top Rank, Matchroom, Golden Boy, whatever. You know, whatever Triple G's with. GGG Promotions. GGG is his own entity now. But, yeah, he's calling out these different guys, you know. The Canelo Triple G shit is way too far-fetched. He's way too small for those dudes. But as far as Vasyl Lomachenko and, you know, of course, the guys at 140, I like those fights. And I really especially like the Vasyl Lomachenko fight. You know, I like both fighters. Vasyl Lomachenko, I think he's one of the best fighters, one of the better fighters out there today. He doesn't really, he's not braggadocious or anything. He don't really toot his own horn. But a lot of the hype that surrounds him, you know, rubs a lot of people off the wrong way. I don't let that bother me. If it ain't coming from his mouth, you know, I can't hold him accountable for it. Lomachenko seems like a real humble, you know, cool dude for the most part. You know, and he seems like he's an honest guy and he knows his limitations. And Adrien Broner, that's my guy. You know, so I know 90% of the boxing community hates Adrien Broner, but I'm an AB fan. Once I'm on your wagon, I don't hop off. I usually don't hop off. You know, I understand that Adrien Broner rubs everybody off the wrong way. I understand that he don't throw punches anymore in the ring. And I'm not a fan of a lot of the stuff that he do on social media. But I just hope the guy hope he gets his shit together, man. You know, Adrien Broner needs to really get his shit together. But this is a good fight for Adrien Broner. You know, but maybe he's doing this because he's not too happy with PBC Showtime. If you paid attention to his little live stream he had, he said that he didn't even get paid yet for the Pacquiao fight. You know, maybe they holding this money for him so he won't go completely broke, because he be out doing some crazy reckless shit, if you ask me. He's getting too old for this shit. You know, see, I can still be a fan of a guy, but still criticize him, right? You know, I don't hate AB. I don't think he deserved to die, none of this crazy shit. But I really want to see him do better, you know. But at the same time, I see what everybody else sees as well. I'm not some blind fan. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a fanboy at all. But I want to see AB do good, and I think this is a good fight for Adrien Broner. I think this is a real good fight for Lomachenko. This fight will really increase Lomachenko's popularity. It'll gather a lot of attention, and AB will sell the shit out of that fight. You know, despite AB's shortcomings in the ring, him not necessarily being on the winning side of things, he's still one of the bigger draws in the sport of boxing. He still has a name, and I think that's the fight Lomachenko should really press for. You know, if he gets past Luke Campbell later this month in the UK, I think he should try to press for the AB fight. That's a big fight. That's a good fight. AB probably not too happy with PBC. He probably wants more money from Ivan Reddick. The Ivan Reddick fight that's potentially on, that was supposed to be in October on the horizon. You know, I know some of you may have heard of that fight, Adrien Broner's next matchup. But Adrien Broner is possibly posturing and just name dropping just to have more leverage, to get more money in the Ivan Reddick fight. You know, for PBC. You know, we've seen these guys do it before. You know, Mike Garcia flirted around with the idea of signing with Matchroom, and next thing you know, he's about to fight Danny Garcia. That's what we're hearing. But, you know, it seemed like this is the thing that they do in the Premier Boxing Champions. You know, like I said, those guys are pretty much independent contractors for the most part, so they can kind of go wherever they want. I think Bob Arum will book that fight. I think that's a good fight for his fighter. It'll help increase Lomachenko's popularity. I'm not sure if it's a pay-per-view worthy fight or not. Maybe they could sell it as one, but it's a good fight nonetheless. And I think that's a fight that Bob Arum may be interested in. Because if Lomachenko goes out there and beats AB, I think that's a statement for a smaller guy like Lomachenko who comes down from featherweight or whatnot. And I think that's a good big statement for Lomachenko. I think that's a good money fight for him. And I think that's a fight that really increases overall popularity. And I think it's a good fight for AB if he can come in there in shape and ready to, you know. I mean, I'm looking at it from a different perspective, you know. I like the fight. I like that matchup. I really do. 138 pounds. Adrien Broner will be draining himself probably to the lowest he's been in years. Lomachenko won't have to cut as much weight, you know, so he could probably be a lot more fresh. And his skills should be able to carry him over in that type of fight, depending on if AB lets his hands go. AB, you know, AB probably have a lot more power, and AB does have a chin, so it's an interesting fight. I like it. I like the idea of it. I know a lot of fans may not like it because they don't like Adrien Broner. I know people may not just like it because they don't like Lomachenko. But your boy Bushido Boxing don't hold those type of personal grudges or anything like that with these fighters. It is what it is, man. Tell me what you guys think, though. Adrien Broner calls out Lomachenko at 138 pounds. Shout out to Goodfella Sports TV for the source info. And be sure to check out his channel. And, yeah, like, subscribe, hot your boy. Peace out.